You're not imagining it. She still feels you. She might not admit it. She might never say the words out loud. But the space you left behind, the stillness, the silence, the absence of your energy, it echoes louder than anything you ever said. Regret doesn't always arrive wearing a warning sign. Sometimes it whispers quietly in the background of her thoughts. It creeps in during those empty moments, when the music stops, when the noise dies down, when the room grows still. It's in those pauses that she feels it most. You didn't leave with rage. You didn't exit with drama. You walked away with composure, strength, stillness, and that's what unsettles her now. That's what lingers. In this video, we're going to dive deep into why your calm, your detachment, your silent self-respect left a bigger mark than any loud goodbye ever could. We'll break down the psychology behind why she feels you more after you're gone, why your energy still moves through her life, even though your presence has been withdrawn, and most importantly, why being a stoic, grounded man in a chaotic world isn't just powerful, it's unforgettable. Let's begin. 1. She feels the silence more than she ever heard your words. It's not always the last message you sent that stays with her. It's the absence of new ones. See, when you pulled back, when you stopped reaching out, stopped checking in, stopped making yourself available, it wasn't just quiet that entered her world. It was a confrontation with something she wasn't ready to face, herself. At first, she brushed it off, told herself she didn't care. She'd tell her friends she was over it. But silence doesn't lie. Over time, she starts to feel its weight. It's not just the space you left, it's the reflection that space forces her into. The questions bubble up, even if she pretends they're not there. Why hasn't he reached out? Did I matter less than I thought? Did he really move on? Like that? And that's when her ego begins to do battle with her reality. She can't say it, won't say it, but she starts to feel it. You were the calm in the storm, the quiet presence in a world full of performative people. You didn't chase, you didn't beg, you didn't try to force a connection that no longer served your peace. You walked away not because you didn't care, but because you cared about yourself enough. And that kind of calm strength, that kind of composure, it creates an echo that doesn't fade easily. Marcus Aurelius said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That's exactly what you embodied, and that's exactly what she misses. 2. Her pride is louder than her pain, but not stronger. Even if she wanted to say it, even if every part of her was screaming, "I miss you," her pride would block her mouth from moving. You see it in the small things. A cryptic post, a nostalgic song lyric, a story that might be about you, but never mentions your name. She won't message you first. She won't risk losing. But this was never a game for you. You weren't trying to win. You chose peace over performance, clarity over chaos. You weren't looking for revenge, attention, or even validation. You just stopped trying to fix what was broken, and in doing so, you shifted the balance entirely. Because here's the truth. Most people expect anger. They expect confrontation. What they don't expect is nothing. When you leave without bitterness, without the need for closure, without dramatic final words, it catches people off guard, especially someone used to being chased. She expected a scene. What she got was silence. And now, while her pride holds her back from reaching out, her mind keeps circling back to you. Because she remembers your calm. She remembers your control. And deep down, she knows that kind of energy doesn't come around often. 3. Your energy didn't leave, it just shifted. Let's make one thing clear. Just because you're gone doesn't mean you're forgotten. Your presence still lingers. She hears your favorite song on a random drive home, and the memory hits her before the chorus even starts. She catches a scent in the air that reminds her of the cologne you used to wear. She walks past a place you both visited, and suddenly she's back there, in her mind, replaying a version of the past that felt better than whatever the present is. That's not magic. That's energy. And energy, when it's genuine, doesn't need reminders. It is the reminder. You never forced your presence. You never begged to be remembered. But ironically, that's exactly why you are. A Stoic man doesn't beg to be seen. He doesn't perform to be loved. He moves with quiet clarity, knowing that who he is will speak louder than what he says. And in the moments where her ego wants to forget you, it's that clarity that keeps resurfacing. Because you're no longer noise. You're silence with weight. You're absence with presence. You're the reminder that she let go of something rare. 4, she's watching, but she'll never say it. No messages, no likes, no texts. But your stories, watched instantly. Your posts, lingered on. Your profile, visited more often than you'd ever know. She's paying attention, silently, cautiously, because to reach out would be to surrender. She wants to know, is he happy now? Is there someone else? Did I really lose him for good? But she won't say any of this out loud. Why? Because her ego still thinks vulnerability is weakness. But she doesn't realize it's not you who needs her validation anymore. You've elevated. You've shifted from needing to be understood to needing to be at peace. The Stoic man doesn't move to be noticed. He moves because his purpose compels him. He builds because growth is his mission. He lives because life isn't about winning a person, it's about mastering yourself. So while she lurks quietly in the shadows of your digital life, unsure of how to close the gap, you continue forward, unmoved, undistracted, unbothered. And ironically, that is what draws her in more. 5, her questions are loud, but stay unspoken. She wonders. She doubts. She replays everything, but she won't voice any of it. Because the second she opens her mouth to ask, do you still think about me? Did you ever really care? Why did you stop trying? It would mean peeling back the very shield she's used to protect herself. So she says nothing, but her thoughts say everything. And meanwhile, you're no longer even in that battle. You've shifted your focus. You've returned to your craft, your discipline, your self-growth. While she's stuck between doubt and pride, you've already crossed over into clarity. You didn't win her back. You won yourself back. And that contrast, that's what hits hardest. 6, regret doesn't arrive in texts. It arrives in waves. She won't message you. She won't say, I'm sorry. But that doesn't mean she's not feeling the storm inside. Regret doesn't announce itself. It shows up in the spaces between distractions. At first, she felt in control. She thought walking away meant power. She assumed you'd linger in the wings just in case. But you didn't. You left quietly, with dignity. And the longer she sits with that reality, the more the regret grows. It's not the dramatic goodbye that hurts her. It's the clean, clear exit. She doesn't miss the words. She misses the way you didn't need to say them. That's the part she wasn't ready for. That's the part she can't stop feeling. Closing, bring it all home. So if you're sitting here wondering if she still thinks about you, she does. If you're questioning whether your silence meant anything, it did. Your calm, your discipline, your ability to walk away without hate and without need, that's what made the difference. You chose peace. You chose clarity. You chose self-respect. And while she may never say it out loud, she still feels you in quiet moments, in unexpected reminders, in the silence you left behind. Marcus Aurelius once said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. And that's exactly what you've done. So to every man watching this right now who's walking the Stoic path, stand tall, stay calm, remain grounded, because your absence is not a void, it's a message, and she's hearing it, louder than you think. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Then drop a comment with, I walk in calm. Let the world know. You don't need to speak loudly to leave a lasting echo.